thought we'd do a short film going over all the adventures we've had during 2015. Because it was a new adventure for us. We sold our White Magic.
Sunfast Genova.
Yeah, Sunfast, Geno Sunfast 32, big conventional cruising boat, and we bought a small 20-foot Red Fox trailer sailor.
It was around this time last year that we produced a summary of all the things we'd done in 2015. And guess what? People wanted us to do another one. So here it is. This is all the things we've done in 2016.
December the 6th, 2014.
There we go. So just over a year ago.
Want to stay, so you don't fight.
Because she doesn't want to. Okay. Well, hello. Let's say hello. It's not hello. We're not going to say
Hello!
This time last year we did a film that summarised our yearly sailing activities, and we've had people say, are you going to do another one?
We have.
So we thought we would, and this is it. So this year we've had quite a lot happen, really. We started off just doing some dinghy racing with the New Year's Day race, and I did some other dinghy racing in my Blaze, so there's some dinghy films. And then at the start of the year we also still had Rowena, our 20-foot Red Fox trailer sailor.
Well, for 6 months of the year, I think.
Well, yeah, that's right. So some of the earlier films from that are in getting her ready for the coming year, taking the covers off. Do you remember when we took the covers off? Is it in the windy day? That was.
It almost blowed a bit. It almost blowed underneath me.
It was like a parachute sort of thing, wasn't it? And then we had films, obviously, of launching her, and our first night anchor. In fact, our only night anchor.
And then we didn't even.
Yeah, and then it wasn't even our anchor. Where we went alongside.
Granddad.
That's it, Nanny and Granddad's boat. So we rafted up for the night. Had a pleasant night in Stangate. But then, for lots of reasons which I'm not going to go into here, we had been anyway looking at other boats. We did something a little bit bigger so that we could go somewhere with Nanny and Granddad. You don't sail in a 20-foot trailer sailor in the same bits of water that a 34-foot Victoria Longhill boat sails in. So we wanted something a bit bigger.
Yeah.
And
We
found Seahorse. I've been watching her for a while on various adverts. It was still available, so we thought we'd go and have a look.
Yeah.
So we went and have a look, didn't we?
Yeah. And it's big. It was
She's
really
bigger, isn't
It's
she?
big compared to what we had, isn't it? So anyway, a bit of to and fro in like you do when you're buying a boat, and we bought her. And we spent our first night on her.
And then the next day we woke up quite early to take
Went for a sail, didn't we?
Seahorse.
But we had to go for a sail first, is he?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Yeah. But we didn't, there wasn't much wind, was there?
No.
No wind at all.
It was a bit surreal because all our boats obviously are home from home normally. So to spend the first night on a boat we literally just bought 5 hours beforehand. You probably saw how much stuff we bought because I wanted to be prepared. Mountains of stuff.
So anyway, we spent that first night on board her, and then we came home, and then was it a week later or 2 weeks later?
2 weeks later.
Was it about a little bit later anyway? We all went down with our friend
Uncle Tony. And
with a view to myself and Uncle Tony sailing it back.
And so we came too because who's going to drive the car back?
That's right.
And so we got up about 5 or 6 in the morning so they could get ready to trot off.
Yes.
We did.
Trot off.
Now the plan was to try and sail it all the way back, but for the first time ever, we never get easterly winds in this country. You get 2 days of easterly winds a year, kind of thing. Most of the time it's southwesterlies, bit of north, bit of south, but never easterly. Anyway, start of this year, all we had was easterlies or northeasterlies. It was easterly winds forever, and that's the direction we had to go home. So
it was like light wind.
it might have been for your test row, it wasn't so, yeah, that's right. So Tony and I were kind of aiming at Brighton for a first day, would have settled for Eastbourne, but ended up going into Shoreham, which was not as far up the coast. And it was all right, it was a bit bumpy, but we had to sail out towards the channel and then back in towards Shoreham.
You felt a bit sick.
Yeah, I did. I don't.
It's a good job we had Tony.
I get sick anyway. So.
And at least because we've got this app to see where Daddy and Uncle Tony was when we did it, we saw that they were really far out, and then they turned and went back in.
Yeah.
Marine traffic,
And then we
because
saw
we've got
them go
AIS.
back into
You actually burst into tears when I put it on the big telly, and I said, "Oh look, there's Daddy," and he looked like he was obviously in the middle of the sea, which he was, because they did a big long tack out and then tack back in, and she was like, "Daddy!" And that didn't go down.
Yeah, no,
well.
I shouted out the window, Daddy.
And then the
come
very
on."
next day, I thought I'd have a week off before I had to go and pick you up.
Mm-hmm.
The very next day, I got a phone call, "Can you just drive 200 miles again to come and get us
The
back?"
weather was not only from the east but getting worse, and so you have to look into Shoreham. It's kind of quite a commercial port, not really a marina.
He seems happy.
But it's a lovely place. It's a bit rough and ready around the edges, but it's a great place. So we locked out of there and we just hopped on the coast of New Haven, which is a little bit more of a marina type place. So sort of a lot of mudders around as well, but it's quite cheap, which was good. So we went into New Haven and then phoned up Mummy and Elizabeth to come and get us, because there was no point in sort of spending a week there sitting on the boat when I could be at work.
I
So
think it took you quicker to sail it than it took me to get ready
Probably,
and drive,
yeah.
didn't it? Because by the time I got to New Haven, you guys were already waiting for me.
Yeah, they were waiting at the gate, and we were like, "Sorry, we can't go that fast."
So anyway, another week went, and weather still was miserable. So we all went down to
Just us.
just as a family and
Yeah.
had a day or a weekend at New Haven.
But that probably...
fun.
Well, it was fun, but we didn't get any sleep. She got sleep.
Yeah,
But being-
that's only because I put my pillow like that on my ears, and I just fell
I think
asleep.
you just sleep through anything, but
Yeah, I
Daddy
sleep
and I
through
didn't get
anything.
any sleep. It's very surreal. You probably get used to it, but the turbulence that the ferries cause, you're
There's a-
just
there's a
sleeping.
I
ferry-
didn't hear a thing.
Yeah, there's a
I
ferry-
just heard my snoring.
There's a ferry port for a ferry that goes back and forth from the Isle of Wight, and it comes every hour or something
the
like that.
Isle of what? The Isle of what? I can't say it now.
Isle of Wight.
Isle of what Daddy just said is just across the river.
Yeah, kind of, the
width
Solent,
of the river.
yeah.
So that's what Daddy heard the whole Mum heard the whole night.
Did not
God,
stop.
it is
I thought it was going to France.
Oh, it might not be the Isle of Wight. Maybe that's
think
what's
it was
in.
France.
Yeah, that's where Lymington was, wasn't it? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, it's a ferry.
It was yellow.
Yeah. Anyway, and it goes a lot, and you get a lot of turbulence. You hear all the engines, and then you hear, as you say, all the kind of stones and things getting moved around on the bottom of the riverbed. And there's also a scrap metal yard there as well, which is going during the day. So didn't get much sleep.
No, but really fun when you're there.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's a park, there's fish and chips, there's a lovely
Yeah.
walk,
It's got
lovely
everything
view,
you
lovely
need.
beach. But next time I might book in a B&B and sleep on
Yeah.
land.
Yeah.
Or
You
get
could
very drunk
probably,
beforehand.
Mum. What you should do is try my technique. Put my pillow over my
Yeah,
ears,
we
and
might.
then turn and toss, and then just let them go, and I can't hear a thing because I'm asleep.
Oh, so where did we go after that?
Anyway, well, after that, another week went by, or another 2 weeks went by, I can't remember. And then Tony and I did bring it back. We went up the coast to
I
Dover,
was so happy. I wasn't crying that day.
and then from Dover round through to the Medway when we finally got home. So
And it was torrential, the worst rain we've had all year, wasn't it?
Yes.
We were at the summer fair in the village.
oh, when
and
we
you
were waiting
rang
to get
say,
picked up,
come and
yeah,
pick me
yeah,
up.
yeah, absolutely
And
fell out.
I had to say we were soaked through to our underwear because it was a beautiful summer's day. In
Yeah, I was wearing a summer t-shirt, summer shorts. I was ready
And
for
I
summer.
said, no, we have got to go home before we pick you up. Obviously, those two were standing in the rain as well, but we had to get our priorities right.
right.
So, yeah, that was...
So anyway, so now she's back on the river. We did a film of scrubbing her off the Medway way, where we lift her out on what we call a lady die, which is kind of a moving set of dolphins.
Oh, yeah, she was filthy, wasn't
Yeah,
she?
well, she hadn't been out of the
Absolutely
water
filthy.
for 6 months or more. Then we did some films of our racing, Wednesday night
Yeah.
racing.
But the even the Wednesday night sailing though, we bought Seahorse to try and sail as a family a bit more. 90% of the races were like over false 5, weren't they? So Izzy and I didn't even bother coming.
Oh, I don't know. It wasn't always like that, but it did seem to be that whenever it was a good time for everyone to
Yeah.
come sailing, it wasn't the right weather for it. So
We only managed a few of them.
yeah, timing hasn't worked that well this year, but the boat's been good. And we had your friends George and Ethan come on board, didn't we? So we had a family day out on the boat.
And we managed that because I was a bit worried because we don't have a proper. Well, we have a loo, but we don't have a proper
And
door.
we managed to get as far as Stangate and then.
I don't think you even got that far because it was windy,
Oh
wasn't
yeah, I think we got on the mooring, had a little play around, to have a little drive, go back and have.
But we had was it 7? 7 on board plus Winnie.
Mm.
Right, let me count.
It's not bad. And we managed to feed everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 7.
The ladies and gentlemen had toilet shifts because there is a door, but it's not a very good door.
No.
So
I could if at night time, if my mum always needs a loo before she goes to bed, she just pops in, goes, and I'm like, Mum, I'm trying to get asleep. Because I can't, because it stinks.
Oh, stink.
So anyway, now it's the summer, and you had Cadet Week, didn't you? In
With
Bumblebee.
my friend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, except from the last day.
What was wrong with the last day? I like that. That was windy.
The best day was the day before, wasn't it?
Cold, and I didn't get to be with Daddy.
The best day was the day you sailed it down river and you went to buy an ice cream, didn't you? You had to sail
Oh
around.
yeah, we got to go on a speedboat, one of the boats that help
Rescue boat,
rescue boats. We got to go on one of them, and it started off slow, and then he went choo, and we went woohoo! And I got to go on the way to get the ice cream. I went with my friend Charlotte, and then on the way back I went with Sophie in the front.
Yeah, and then they let you all go and you had to sail back in the wind and tide, so it was very easy to sail back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Except from Sophie on my second trip doing that. It was.
I think everyone has a bit of tiller wiggle when they start.
So
We were the last one then.
after that, we had our summer cruise,
Yeah.
as we called it, which ended up being not much of a cruise, like less than a week, I think, in the end.
Yeah.
But for lots of reasons, but it was good fun, wasn't it?
It was. We were actually blessed with good weather.
And it was. It's the best sailing weather we've had ever. I think we sailed pretty much everywhere rather than have to stick the engine on.
Yep.
I mean, there's times when you have the engine on, but basically we sailed everywhere, which was really good. So we started off with a long sail northwards up the east coast, round the Maplin Sands, through the Swin Spit to
And that
Tullsbury.
was so easy. We weren't fatigued at all with that autopilot. It was wonderful.
The boat was just awesome. And a really nice sail, really fully powered up, screaming along, sailing past everything.
Everyone in the cockpit, so we could all enjoy it. I don't think Winnie actually.
I was cold.
Winnie hated every moment.
Yeah,
of that
probably.
race.
But the problem we had is that we had to leave the Medway on a falling tide to get the tide out, but the boat went so quickly, we ended up getting to Tullsbury only with a couple of hours of tide come in. So because we got there so early, we ended up having to go into Bradwell Creek and pick up a buoy, which we could only just about scrape in again because there wasn't much water.
We pushed mud picking the buoy up, didn't we?
But we sat there for a bit.
Swinging on the swinging mooring, put it that way.
We sat there for a bit, had lunch, and then we
Set off again.
worked our way into Tullsbury, running aground in there because we're pushing a luck. But it's all mud on the east coast, so you don't really have to worry about it as long as you're not going too quick. So we picked up another buoy, and then went to Tullsbury. And why do we like going to Tullsbury, Izzy?
Because they have good shops and they have play areas
And they have a swimming pool.
and they have a big swimming pool.
Yeah.
I think we spent most of the time in that. The pond this year was so cold.
Oh my
We
goodness, I
repeated
can't
next year.
explain. I'm like,
I'm going to bring a
Mum,
wetsuit.
If you haven't seen the
swimming
films,
pool instead.
if you haven't seen the films, Tullsbury has an indoor, sort of an undercover swimming
yes,
pool. That's
that's
normally
cold.
not too bad. It's heated and it's and the
Yeah,
fields
it's
are cold,
really
but it's not too
warm.
bad. But they have a big outdoor pond that you can play with inflatables on
Yeah,
and
and it
everything
doesn't
else.
have any sea creatures in it. All it has is a riverbed that's mud.
It is a bit slimy under your feet, isn't it? But it's fun, isn't it?
But I can't get that far. I only get far as the sand. And then sometimes
I'm bringing a wetsuit next year.
Yeah, me too.
You were in one.
I know. I'm still freezing cold.
We also managed to pack onto Seahorse for this trip 2 bicycles and a tag along. So
Yeah, that
we
was
went for a
very
cycle
good.
and stuff. It's
And
amazing
we
what you can
went-
get on a little boat.
To some shops.
Yeah.
We had some lovely lunches
yeah.
out, didn't we?
And I did do a little short film when we
did.
were taking it. I was because I don't have to like go in and out of the cars kind of. I just have to hold on and pedal because I was behind Dad. All I had to do was try and look where I was going but still hold the camera to show what I was doing.
You should check out the films.
Well, they're a bit wobbly.
So we also, while we were in Tolsbury, met a lovely family on sailing boat Harmony, who became good friends. And Izzy doesn't normally meet so many children her age, but it was good, wasn't it, having people to play with?
Yeah, one was younger than me, one was older than me.
But they were planning on the next trip to go to Brightlingsea, which, although Hannah had been to many years ago, we'd never been to. So
we've been racing dinghies there.
We have been racing dinghies there.
I've never
Sailed
been
there,
there, never ever been there.
No.
So we thought we'd tag along and have the short sail up the further up the coast to Brightlingsea with them, and that was really good.
It was really fun. Except from the pontoons aren't actually connected to the pontoon that goes onto dry land. You have to get a boat.
That's right. It's kind of like a marina that's not attached to the land. So everyone sort of
it's like a buoy,
fixes up in the middle.
basically. It's like some buoys where you have to get ropes.
And we rafted up alongside Harmony because we were only going to be there for one night and space is limited. So
very limited. I mean, goodness, one boat passed us with an inch.
Really was not much space, and they didn't slow up.
No.
But anyway, we were all right. And then we got the little taxi boat into the town.
We rigged a light up overnight, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because we really were sticking out
Stuck
in
it on the
channel.
corner of the boat just to make sure everyone could see our corner of our boat. So we went and played in a paddling pool thing there, had our ice cream, fish and chips, didn't we?
Ice cream.
That was really good. If we hadn't met them, we wouldn't have known the beach was there.
No. It's
Just,
one of those places.
That was a really cool beach too.
you have to sort of get off the launch and just turn left and keep walking.
Walk up round the corner.
Yeah, it's
We
quite a long
wouldn't have known
walk.
it was there.
It was quite a long walk, but it was worth it. It was a really cool beach.
Brightlingsea is one of those places we've often thought we might pop in and visit, but never really had a reason to, and there's always other places to go. But now we've been there, it's actually quite a nice
Yeah,
town.
I think we'll go again.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There's things to do and see and stuff. So.
Well, and there's another launch that takes you to like that shingle sandbank, which would be quite
beach
fun.
island bit. So anyway, after that we got up early in the morning and we had a nice pleasant sail then back down, starting to head towards home, down the Crouch to Burnham, which is kind of our favourite place on the East Coast just because it's the nearest place to us and it's got a bit of everything, hasn't
What
it?
do you like at Burnham, Izzy?
Oh.
Begins with C and there's a shop.
Oh yeah, I like the charity shops now.
That's right. There's a lot of charity shops and Izzy likes that.
Sometimes get a little crazy and say, please. Because I like what it's there.
Yeah.
He likes
And
all
there's some
the
good parks.
stuffed teddies you can buy for 20p. We had limited space.
We had a limit in that. So we had a day in Burnham, and then we headed further up the Crouch to Fanbridge, which is another one of our favourite little places, just because it's a nice little marina.
On the bikes, wasn't it?
Yeah, and we had the bikes, so we could cycle into the park.
10 minutes away.
When I had dinner at the
and also,
ship inn, is it?
before we went to Brightlingsea, we went fishing and they said we're going to go to the park later on, would you like to come? And we said yes, and they showed us a really cool park.
Oh yeah, Park at Tolsbury, which we didn't know
I've
about.
been there all my life.
Yeah.
And I've never knew there
It's
was a
good
park
to,
at Tolsbury.
good to befriend the locals, does it?
Yeah. When I was a child, Google Maps wasn't invented, but maybe now we need to look at these places and think, oh yes.
So anyway, so then we were in Fanbridge, and it looked it appeared that the weather was going to start making a turn for the worst. So we headed back down from Fanbridge to Burnham, and then from Burnham had an early start and sailed back round to the Medway before the worst of the weather got here. And we did it just in time. We're literally in the mouth of the weather when it turned for the worst. Wasn't terrible, but it was certainly miserable. It is. So so then we were back in the Medway. It was a good time, wasn't it? So once we got back, we did a bit more racing. I had a single-handed race, which was really good, and we filmed the last in the Midway Cruising Club Burton Cup series, where
that was good fun.
We all did a bit of hiking, didn't we, at Seahorse Sail, and then you did some colouring down below, didn't you?
She has been so good this year. So we basically had a boat since she was 3. We dinghy sailed up till she was 3 and then thought, no, we need to be more of a family. And it's been quite hard work up until this year of having her, because
been really
I've
good.
basically been below entertaining Izzy while we've sailed. But this year...
So what was your favourite bit of that last race, Izzy?
That when I came up on deck and I was drawing like these ponies by like just some pictures, and I was like, whoa, Dad, is there supposed to be lots of seaweed down there? And then I was like, oh, there's a camera, hi!
Yeah, it's
You
good,
like
wasn't it?
helping, don't you?
Yeah.
But you entertain yourself so much better now with colouring, games, iPads.
And that was pretty much it. I then did a film on how to sail single-handed, which I felt a bit embarrassed about, but actually seems to get loads of hits.
Yeah.
You should definitely got to check that one out.
Yeah, because it's amazing to us, because when we did this last year, we had 200 and something subscribers, and we thought, wow, 200 people want to watch us go sailing as a family, and we've now got nearly 1,200 subscribers.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
Well, we're over 1,000.
We are well over 1,000.
Yeah. And we were recognised on holiday 3 times.
We're celebrities.
Just on the east coast of England.
just because of me.
Well, yeah.
And really.
It was actually.
It was.
The 3 people that recognised us said, oh, it was your daughter and the dog I recognised. Oh, all right. Fine. But that was pretty cool. So hello, if you're watching this, thank you very much.
Probably because of my voice.
Yes.
And
mine.
Willie's size.
Yes.
So anyway, yes.
Trick them now because you had all your hair cut.
All we're filming now, though, of course, is our winter refit, which is pretty tedious unless you like fiddling around with boats.
Well, he has to go and do in a minute, to be honest.
Yes, he says I've got to go do more varnishing. But it is all part of owning the boat, isn't it?
Yeah, and also we do some YouTube videos on my channel.
Oh,
We do.
yes, Elizabeth's channel.
Fun stuff with Elizabeth. Go and find that one.
Mummy and Izzy do lots of challenges, so if you want to see us eating disgusting things and making
And
disgusting
also,
pizzas.
I got like a letter yesterday about Father Christmas, and he was watching my YouTube, and also he said Rudolph tried one of the toasted wake sour sweets, and he got a tummy ache, but his nose was just glowing brighter. So he said, "Can you leave one out for on Christmas Eve for me to come and pick up?"
Yeah. We've got people all over. Yeah.
So anyway, so that's about it. So if you're new to our channel, because there's loads of people that are new to our channel, because we've got loads of new subscribers recently, go and check out some of our older films, and please leave comments. No one seems to leave comments after, once a film's been up for a while. I think people think, there's no point leaving a comment. But
it spends at least an hour every evening replying to comments.
But yes,
it
I
feels
do.
like it.
We do. But we like it. It's amazing to hear from people that are literally all over the world.
Oh, we've actually made some new friends on YouTube.
Yes.
We had them around our house.
And I'm not going to be able to pronounce it. Fine Spear. I don't know.
But
Leonard, Mary, please comment and tell everyone how to pronounce your boat's name, because I can never remember.
They have 2 children that are called Ella and Luke, and they're teenagers, and they're both 13 and they're twins.
But they're from Ireland, and they've just started the journey of sailing around the world, or at least wherever it takes them. But of course, they left it so late, the weather turned, and they ended up on the Midway, which was great. Well, it's great for us, not great for them, because they're spending the winter on the Midway. It's cold and wet.
And that's why we let them come and have dinner here for a change.
They did.
So
Thought they
don't
might
have
want some central heating.
And they are a lovely family, so go and check out
Yeah.
their channel, because it's an interesting story to follow.
Yeah.
So.
But no, YouTube's opening lots of opportunities and lots of friendships for us, which is all good.
Anyway, so
We hopefully plan to keep Seahorse for next year, by the way, because I
We're
think
not
if you
finishing
follow 5 boats in
well, I don't know, we've had quite a few.
4
It's all easy to make excuses, but there has always been reasons that we've had to do what we've done, but there is no reason to change Seahorse immediately, so.
Right. So we're going to keep Seahorse, but she might have some new cushions.
We're keeping Seahorse.
Right. Okay, anyway, so thank you everyone, thanks for watching, and please write some comments on, if not this film, other films, because it's really interesting to read them.
And a thumbs up, please.
Yeah, apparently that's good, isn't it? YouTube says, everyone says give us a
See
thumbs
you
up.
later.
Yeah, so bye everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Yeah, we don't do that.
That's
on
what
our
we do
channel.
in your film. I don't think our punters will like it.
Shall I turn the camera off then?
Yeah.
Right.
Right, dog walk and varnishing.
But I thought